Hey guys, Klunga here, and today we're going to be talking about 10 things in World of Tanks Mercenaries that you may not have known. This is especially useful for you newer players who may have just begun the game not too long ago. Number 1, and a very important one, you do not need to buy premium consumables for your tank. For instance, when you first log in, you go to your supplies, all you see are large repair, large first aid, automatic fire extinguisher. All you need to do is scroll down, and there you will find the small repair, small first aid, and manual fire extinguisher, so don't get tricked into spending more money than you have to. Number 2, premium consumables and premium ammo does not need to be purchased with gold. All you have to do is press Y or triangle on your controller and you will switch it to silver, though it's going to be more expensive. Same with the consumables, the large repair kit, large first aid, automatic fire extinguisher. Once you select the consumable, just press Y and it'll switch it to silver. Number 3, HE shells are almost never better. A lot of times you'll be looking at your gun and you'll see, oh, my gun does more damage with HE shells, 175 damage as compared to 110. And then a lot of newer players will go in and switch all of their rounds over to high explosive. This is a no. Do not do this. Your gun may do more damage with the HE, but that's only if you penetrate. AP shells have a greater chance of penetrating and will do full damage anytime you penetrate. HE will not. You have to penetrate with HE for them to be effective. So use more AP and APCR than HE. Number 4, you can buy and even sell equipment that you've placed on your tank. You do not need to destroy it once you've placed it. Notice here, there are multiple different pieces of equipment. The ones without the stars next to their icons, you can place on and then resell for free. You do not have to spend gold. And to do that, all you need to do is press X and then accept. Or, in the case of a PlayStation 4, press square and then accept. And you can resell all your equipment that you've placed on your tanks and get your full money back. Now, if they are premium equipment, meaning they had the star, you will have to sell them with gold. You have more ops than you may think you have. Simply scroll to the ops tab, and there you're going to see the normal ones, the yellow ones that are always on. But if you scroll down, you'll find these green ones. And these green ones are selectable ops, ones that you have a limited amount of. As you can see, we have 5 times 8 crew XP boosts. We have 139 times 3 XP boosts. And you just select the one you want on. You can only have one on at once, and it immediately starts using them. Every game uses one. See, we have 19 times 5 XP boosts, meaning we can use that 19 times. Here's an interesting one I got asked not too long ago. It's how do you zoom in further than the first zoom in setting? Well, what you do is, just like zooming in normally, you hit your left trigger, and then to zoom in further, you hit your right bumper. And you have to hold them down unless you have toggle zoom on, which I'm showing you how to turn on or off there. Now in this mode, I have to hold down my trigger to stay zoomed in. But if I have that toggled on, all I have to do is press the button once and it will stay zoomed in. Number 7, don't be afraid to use auto lock to get your gun pointed at the correct target. Pressing right bumper will automatically snap it to the nearest target, and boom, your gun is already on sight. You just zoom in and make the manual adjustments when you feel like you need to. And then you can zoom out and stay auto locked to watch your surroundings, and then zoom right back in when you're ready to fire. Simple as that. Number 8, perhaps the minimap you have you don't quite like. Well, no problem, it's an easy fix. Just go to your options, and in options, scroll to the right and go all the way down to toggle minimap, and that will turn on the full-size minimap. Now, you don't have to do that. In fact, all you really need to do is press and hold the back button, or I think on the PlayStation 4, the select button, and that will toggle it in between the compass map and the large map without actually having to go into your settings. Number 9, want to look around without moving your gun or your turret? Simply press and hold your auto lock button, and simple as that, you can look around without your gun snapping around, which can be very, very useful, especially if there's enemies in front of you, but you want to look around and make sure there's no one around you, because usually when you look around, so does your gun. But instead, all you have to do is press and hold your auto lock button, and boom, now you can look around. As simple as that. Number 10, if you're fed up with multiplayer battles, simply press back and scroll up to War Stories. War Stories is, in my opinion, a really good place to learn some nice tricks. Once you're there, you'll have multiple maps to choose from if you have them all unlocked. If you don't, then you'll have to play through them in order. But the best one for getting yourself experience, and one of the harder ones definitely, is the Heist. And that's the one I would recommend. I actually know of a friend who almost only plays War Stories, and he only has 1,000 multiplayer battles. And yet, his stats state that he is in the top 1 percentile of players. Now, why is that? For someone who doesn't really play multiplayer, how is he so good at the game? In my opinion, it's because War Stories is actually a really good place to learn. It will help you learn weak spots. It will help you learn not to jump into the middle of the fight. It will help you learn to support your allies, even though your allies are just bots. But it teaches you all these combat things, because you have to really stay alive to win. Because in this mode, you cannot win if you die, unlike the normal multiplayer. In the normal multiplayer, if you die, your team can still win, and you almost don't really try. War Stories, however, if you die, you automatically lose, and you won't be getting much credits, you won't be getting much experience, and then you have to try again. And so it really teaches you to try to stay alive. And that is a very valuable thing to learn. And so you'll learn how to side scrape, you'll learn how to angle, you'll learn not to expose yourself to multiple targets, and I think it's a really good thing to learn. And once you finish, you also get a pretty fair amount of credits and a pretty good amount of experience. Now, I did have a ×3 going, of course, but still, making 32,000 credits is pretty nice, and still about almost 2,000 experience without the ×3 is a pretty good investment, if I do say so myself, because not only have you learned a bit, discovered a few things, you've made credits, experience, and you didn't have to put up with sometimes dumb teammates. So guys, this was my 10 things you may not known about in World of Tanks Mercenaries. I hope it was helpful for you, especially if you're newer. I know a couple of those things were things that people were asking me about, and so hopefully this video will help you along your quest in World of Tanks Mercenaries. I hope you guys all enjoyed. If you did, slap that like button, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you go check out Space Bandit and GotADingy's YouTube's links in the description below, and I will see you guys all later. Take care, everyone, and peace out.